My name's Vincent.
My name's Noons.
I'm Nick.
And I'm also Nick. And we're here in big head mode. Or is it small head mode? It's one of those. It's a cheat code, right? Welcome to the S Plus podcast, where we figure out whether or not our heads are small or big. I don't know how I feel about big head mode in games.
Dude, I'm letting you know right now, I'm pretty 5-head.
No,
There
like
it is, big head.
I just want to say, like, the first game that I ever experienced, like, big head mode was in Jack and Daxter. And, like, when you stop moving, his head, like, bobs back and forth.
Mine was GoldenEye 007 for N64. That was my first, like, big head, like, cheat thing.
That's the first one I can think of, too.
Yeah.
Didn't that just make the game
that's like
easier?
the first one that comes to mind. Say that again?
Didn't that just make the game easier though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pow! Shoot him in the head. Alright, so what are we talking about today?
We're talking about cheats.
Cheats?
Cheats, exploits, and...
Modifications.
Alright, this is what we're talking about. We're going to talk about the evolution of cheats and other things and, like, alternate ways to play games and, like,
Just like
stuff like
simple to advanced exploitations, pretty much.
Yeah.
From the
Yeah, just
littlest
had
to largest.
I just had inspiration for this game. I don't know what or this topic. I don't know what the inspiration was. I forgot. But I wanted to talk about that stuff. But I wanted to start way back in the day, right? Like, so, even as far as, like, Super Nintendo or, like, Nintendo NES or just all that stuff. Because I think about, like, different exploits and cheat codes and stuff and mods like now, and like how do I feel about them? Well, it depends on it. Do they make it better? Do they make it worse? And I just want to walk through the evolution and see if we can like see the difference in like them now versus then, if we like them, if we dislike them, etc. You know?
I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying. So why don't you hit us with some type of history, either your own or like a history you know of for like cheat codes and stuff.
Well, I want to take us all the way back to a little game I like to call Mega Man. Alright, so I wouldn't really call this a cheat code, but I kind of call it like, you know, a little exploity, where like right before you go into like the boss room, you'd kind of jump back to the screen and keep respawning the enemy until you can fill up like your E-tanks and stuff. Like, is that bad? Is that good? I didn't see it as a problem as a kid.
That's just 5-head, honestly.
Something I did.
Like, if you need to do it, it's not like
that's
game breaking by any means. Like, you're just using the game how it was made, honestly.
Look, I gotta be 100%. I still do this for like modern games where you have like a gauge, like a meter you gotta fill. Like I'll do this where I will just go and farm to get like a meter up and then go fight the boss because you got that super move coming up, right? And
Yeah.
like that's like
Okay.
I don't think that's, I think that's just playing the game.
Do you guys
Yeah.
do you guys ever think that you just suck?
You're telling me you got hit up to that point?
What's that? You needed more?
But also things like, and then we'll jump a little like next to and say Super Mario 3 is what I like to think of. I don't even think it's an exploit as much as it's
the
just
flute?
like skipping the game, and it's like
The flute, yeah.
the flute whistle. You can flute whistle to the second one, and then just get the second one to the third one, and then you just gotta play like
Yeah.
the last couple levels, and you beat the game.
Okay, so I gotta bring this up. I feel like an absolute kind of plebe because I don't know what the hell
Okay,
you guys
so
are talking
in-
about.
in-
There's a flute, and it can let me
so yeah,
skip the
so
game.
In Super Mario Bros. 3, there is this flute that you can find in two Bowser's castles, pretty much. The first one is literally in the first world, so they purposely put it in there for a reason as like a little secret. So what you do is you'd have the flying Mario suit, and you just run, build up your speed gauge, and just fly all the way to the ceiling and keep pressing A until you go above it, and it'll just teleport you into a room.
No, you don't even have to do that. You just go behind.
No,
the
no, no.
level.
Like you go. You're thinking of the second
Oh.
one, because the first one you pretty much fly. You're in Bowser's castle. You fly up. No, that's the
That's the
first one. That's in
second
World
one.
1. You're.
Yeah, I know. There's 2 in World 1.
I thought there was only one. Cause there's one in
Two.
Bowser's castle.
Cause you. Yeah, and you get the one. You get the one on that level where you stand on top of the white box.
Oh,
and then
that's
you drop
secret.
down and then you run behind the level. And then the one you're talking about is the second one. And then you can get the third one either in the desert or you can go to the like cloud level, but that takes some work.
Yeah. So long story
gonna
short,
skip that
there's like these little secrets that they put in the game where you get a flute, and once you play the flute, it allows you to teleport to whichever world. It's kind of like in the original Mario where you find those pipes. You could just I go directly to World 4 from World 1. It's kind of
Okay.
like that.
All right. So what you're
It's
saying?
called the
whistle, yeah.
warp whistle.
So what you're saying is that if I blow at the game, I can just blow on this whistle,
Yeah.
and I can just skip.
Yeah.
You know what
That's fantastic.
that kind of sounds like? Developer rooms and stuff like that. If you know what I'm talking about, like from the original Doom. Where you could skip most of the game, or at least find portals to the different places in the game, including places that aren't actually part of the game, in these developer rooms if you could get to them. But it sounds like the ones in
I like
Mario are intended.
Or isn't there a developer room in? I mean, I know we're skipping ahead on our timeline here, but Skyrim.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
Skyrim.
it's got every item and shit in it. Oh
Yeah.
no, I said an S word.
Freaking cool.
But I
But
mean,
that's so like bringing up this whistle thing. Let's say you never played the game and you only did the whistles, right? Like you've never actually played the game.
okay. So I have a question. How would you even find the whistles without knowing about it to begin with, or like having to have
news
played the
spread
game?
a little differently as a child. I honestly have no idea how I figured out about like,
Look,
like,
I'm
I can tell
25.
you what I didn't do. I'll look it up on the internet. All right.
Yeah. No, but like
I
I'm
was
25 and I'm just now hearing about this.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But let's say you knew, because I knew. And does beating the game that way, for like you, does that take away from the experience of the game?
Yes and no.
Explain.
Yes, because there are certain sections of the game that like you gain enjoyment from by beating. You know, there are some worlds where it's like, oh man, that was hard, but I feel good for beating it. Using stuff like that, kind of like skipping over those levels that give you the satisfaction of winning, it takes away from that experience, but I don't know. Like it doesn't, for some people, that might be part of their fun, right? Trying to beat the game as fast as possible, you know, without breaking it necessarily, right? Because that's part of the game. You know, and for
Yeah.
some people, like, that kind of speedrunning it's their satisfaction.
Yeah.
Whereas,
And
like,
that's more exploitative versus like hacking or cheating or something.
Well,
yeah,
I feel like that kind of stuff adds to the replayability instead of like exploiting. I don't know, so that you can skip directly to your favorite parts of the game, or you know, there's a part that you just don't like and you would rather like you want to play the game, but you don't want to play over that part. I'm just gonna skip it.
That's a point that I was thinking was like, you know, next time you play, when you're done beating that game for the first time or something, then when you go back for a replay, then you can just skip over things and like, you know, you can continue to play the game without playing the parts you don't like, but you've already enjoyed it the quote unquote way it was intended.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that point as well. I agree with both points that you both made. What about you, little Nick? Would you use it? How do you feel about
That
something?
level. I'm completely fine with it because yeah, it definitely redoes the replayability, especially when it comes to speedrunning. Like Mario 3, yeah, it's fun. Do I want to play freaking Giant Land in it? No, so I'm skipping it.
Absolutely.
It's literally the worst freaking level in the whole game.
It's literally the best level in the whole game.
But yeah, I personally don't have a problem with it. It just depends on your playstyle. If you don't like playing it, then you don't have to play it that way. But if you like playing it that way,
Yeah.
and you can,
And I think that's gonna go for everything that we talk about.
literally.
If you don't like playing it that way, you don't have to. That's the quote of the episode. Obviously.
I do want to get something out of the way, like real quick.
do.
Multiplayer exploits that give people unfair advantages in those
fuck
games.
that.
Those people are scumbags.
I saw
Yeah.
a Valorant exploit where Omen could literally teleport under the map and just snipe people. Like they could see everything from the map,
Yeah.
and that.
I'm gonna be 100%. I'd miss every shot.
I mean, not if you're just standing there for 5 seconds aiming. Literally, they can't see you. You can see everything in them, and that honestly pissed me off when I saw it because I'm like, I know people are gonna do this. This just makes me not want to play the game. And after seeing that, I haven't returned to it.
Okay, so I know of a game
Yeah.
that there is a gun made to see through walls and shoot people. And
There's a few. There's a few like that, isn't there?
well, I don't know if you've ever played the original, highly beloved cult classic of Perfect Dark, but
Yes.
multiplayer game, and that game is basically King of the Hill, baby. All right, you get because every gun in that game has a secondary fire, right? So what we would do, and this is a little like I wouldn't even say this is an exploit, but how do you feel about something like this? Like this might be cheating or something, but
that's like
it's a literal mechanic of the game. So
yeah, I know that's different than like cheat
It's
codes
like
necessarily.
energy sword.
Like, because
Kinda, in my
it's
mind.
even better because what you
No,
would
I
do,
meant like
yeah,
like
is set
multiplayer
up-
wise. It's like grabbing the energy sword.
yeah.
It's like, oh, you have the energy sword?
Yeah.
It gives you a higher advantage. But if I am better than you, I can still win.
Yeah, but Perfect Dark is even better because you can set up
RXP.
what these things called laptop guns, and they're basically just sentries, and you throw them on the wall, and then you go in the corner and you pull out your sniper. It's called the Far Sight secondary mode, and it's like thermal vision through the walls, and you can see the entire level. And you'll just see the enemy, and it's a one-shot kill as well. So
Red Faction had the same type of gun,
I don't remember.
actually. Yeah, I don't remember which Red Faction it was, but on top of that, you could destroy environments in Red
Yeah,
Faction.
Red Faction's cool
Yeah.
like that.
So that was like, but like something like that, or the Gravity Hammer, or the Energy Sword from Halo, those are part of
yeah,
the game.
those are like those things
That's
that once you
different
get it,
than-
you feel like a god.
The shotgun.
BXR?
No, the shotgun from Halo.
BXR?
Is it?
No,
I
that's
have
not what
no
the.
fucking clue what
That was the combat, the combo that you did. It's a
Sure.
melee, force a reload animation to reset the animation to shoot people.
Pow!
So you could
You win.
melee and shoot essentially like in the same server tick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how you killed all the boys with
But-
the lightsabers.
Yeah, with their
Yeah,
gosh
but
dang
even
energy
then, that's
sword.
like, that's. I think there's a difference between exploits and the way games
Mhm.
are designed.
Mhm.
You know, like
Oh wait, is that an exploit?
What?
BXR?
BXR?
yeah,
I
Yeah,
would
is
say
that an
it's a little
That would be one.
exploitative, yeah.
'Cause
But
you're
is
forcing an
does that
animation.
ruin the game for you?
No, animation canceling is present in so much.
Yeah, it is.
Just because they can't, you can't really design that out of the game.
Yeah. I think we're all in agreement that things like energy sword, things like that, aren't necessarily like game breaking in terms of like exploit or anything. They
Yeah.
can just ruin your fun, but they're
Yeah.
not like cheat codes or nothing like that.
They made me mad when I
they
was
they
14.
ruin your fun in a different way.
Exactly. So now I want to talk about cheat codes and stuff. So like,
Grand Theft Auto, San
I
Andreas.
was gonna bring up San Andreas. I was also gonna bring up fighting games and like, what are they like?
The blood
Like-
code?
Level skips.
Oh.
Like level skips and stuff.
I thought you were
So,
gonna
like,
talk about the
Unlocking.
blood code or like the blood and gore code from Mortal Kombat.
I don't consider. I'm not. That's not like anything.
No.
But like what? Like things like unlock all characters or like unlock all levels. How do you guys feel about those?
I don't care about that.
Oh,
Maybe like something like
some,
Crash Bandicoot. Like you go in and you turn on all levels unlocked.
I don't know. That's like for Grand Theft Auto, cheat codes are fun, and they make the game easier to play because a lot of the stuff you get from those cheat codes is stuff you have to like play through the whole game or like a good portion of the game to get or find. In fighting games, like unlocking all characters, I don't see as a bad thing. Like with the new Smash Brothers, that was a process to get all
Took
the
me a
characters.
whole last day.
Which like isn't necessarily a problem. It's
You guys are so welcome
Just
for
that-
that, Mo.
What do you mean?
yeah, we or
Well, I'm
like
just saying.
yeah, I
for
didn't know
that
about it till you
tournament,
told me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You guys are welcome.
By the way, we should we'll talk about that later.
Exploit.
Yeah, with like unlocking characters and stuff like that, that's kind of like to me that doesn't bother me as much because fighting games aren't necessarily all about unlocking characters as they are about getting good with certain characters.
Mhm.
And you can't really get good with certain characters if you don't have those characters. You know?
Yeah,
Right.
I see that.
But that's not too much of a problem for me.
But as
I
a
feel like
whole,
I-
do you feel like you've lost a little bit of value in your game through the experience of like trying to get all the characters?
If it's a game that I've played multiple
Uh,
times, I have no reason not to like enter like the cheat
Come
code.
on to this as a fresh new game.
Well, why would you do that in the first place?
Then yes.
Are you crazy?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
some people do. Like some people just want to get.
Them
to
are
the
some
point.
crazies.
Are you one of those people? Or would you rather be able to unlock?
It depends on the mechanic. It depends on the mechanic of how you unlock characters.
Okay.
If you unlock characters like in Tekken Tag, where if you just play, you eventually unlock the characters,
Mhm.
right? That's different than say in Street Fighter V when it first came out, how you had to play competitive to get enough points to get a character.
Mhm.
But then on top of that, you had to also buy the DLC for the character.
I was gonna say like Tekken 7, where you throw in your credit card number. The biggest cheat code of them all.
Yeah. Don't forget those three funny
What about like
characters on the back.
like story mode unlocks, right? Like Budokai.
Perfectly fine with those.
Doesn't matter to me.
Depends.
Would you rather input the code,
Okay.
or does putting in a code to unlock ruin that for you, or is it good?
Okay, so gotta differentiate here because like with Mega Man earlier, those like the codes that you would get from beating a level
Mhm.
is different than like with
Those act
Budokai.
like save states,
Like with-
right? So it's like yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Those are more like saves versus with
Mhm.
Budokai when you like unlock whole things. But like for me, if I skip over parts of a game, it makes me care about the game less.
Yeah.
It makes it seem a little bit more trivial.
I agree.
My fun in
Like,
GTA 4 started dying when I started using cheat codes.
100%.
Mhm.
I still haven't finished 4. I haven't been able to finish Skyrim since the first time I did it.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I started like being able to mod Skyrim, it started taking away.
Just don't
from
do that.
Skyrim.
Yeah. We're gonna get there because I think that's kind of one of the points I want to touch on. I just kind of want to work our way up to like points
Yeah,
where
no,
like
I didn't mean to like
oh
skip
no,
ahead
you're
there.
good, you're good. But it kind of I kind of think we're gonna jump into like I want to kind of talk about like cheat codes now, especially with Grand Theft Auto, because I think this for me is when I personally started realizing that it takes away from the game for me.
Oh, 100%.
Because when I played Grand Theft Auto 3, I used a lot of cheat codes, right? To just do all the stuff and do all the things and all the killing and run around and have fun. And I was kind of making the game for myself, right? But then in Vice City, I used cheat codes, but then, like, I never left the first island without, like, the stars because you can't leave
Mhm.
it, right?
You're
like,
locked.
until you leave it. Yeah, and I was like, I want to go. Like, I want to go, but
But that was the same thing with 3 too.
Mhm.
Is that you
Yeah.
couldn't leave.
3 just felt
You could
bigger. to
leave
me.
Unless
unless if
Liberty
you
City.
use, or you could leave if you use the flying cars cheat. But, like that's the only
Yeah.
way, and even
Yeah.
so, it's still like, it's still like a while.
You still get hit with those
And
stars.
for
Yeah.
some reason, for me personally, 3 just felt bigger. So,
Oh,
like,
yeah, the islands on
I think,
on
like,
Vice
if
City
we're
just
talking-
felt small, in my opinion. Also,
yeah.
They felt samesies.
So, like, doing that
Like every
kind of motivated me to, like, play the game. And then when I started playing the game, I started unlocking all the things I was using cheat codes for. And by the end of Vice City, if you've ever played that game, like actually like played the way through it, you can get everything you ever wanted and more. And like you don't run out you like don't run out of money or like anything. Like you're so rich by the end of that game, like it's a joke. So then it kind of like got me on this thing where like I didn't want to use cheat codes because I was like, I've earned it all and I don't have to put in this 12 input code anymore. I can just go to my super cool house that I earned, and I kind of had some pride in that. And that kind of like, for me, was kind of the turnaround point.
But like, money can't buy you super hops or super speed.
Yeah.
The super
and
punch.
that's what like,
Or
I
super
they got me.
punch.
yeah, it's so good in GTA 5.
Hey, I know what's up.
But like, is that like, there's like certain things like infinite jump on the bicycle, right? Like San Andreas, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Infinite or infinite bunny hop, is that what it's called? Something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
or extra. It's like
Super
yeah,
super
the
bunny
one where
hop
it
or
just
something.
makes you jump up stupid high.
yeah.
So like I have a question since we're talking about cheat codes. Do you guys have one that like you have memorized? And like,
The
it
weapons
sticks with
code
you
from
today?
San Andreas.
R1, R2, L1, L2, up down left right.
No,
So I
it's
think
it's
like
R1,
Cheat Code
R2,
1 or
L1,
something.
R2, and then
Oh yeah, you're right. I think I
There's
did
three
two
separate
because there's
codes,
three
yeah.
separate
There's like
ones.
900.
yeah, they all have different
Unfortunately-
weapons.
I have
One has a rocket launcher, one has
yeah,
flamethrower and stuff like
Saw.
that.
Like
like the different
shotgun.
tiers of weapons.
They all have different groups
Yeah.
of weapons, but that's not the point.
I like I also because I know we talked about this at the beginning of the episode, but like collectibles that you can turn in for quote cheats, like in the
Oh, I like those.
the mascot era platformers
Mm-hmm.
for the PlayStation 2, like Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper,
Yeah,
stuff like that. Like
I like those.
I feel those are
like
different
rewards.
though.
See,
Those
I
aren't
kind of
necessarily
like that
cheats.
because like versus so if you're doing like a collectible to get a cheat code, right? So like if you get something and then you're able to do like infinite ammo, you know you went through and you kind of earned it, and then now you're gonna abuse it for a little bit, but you're not gonna like just ride the whole game. Well, you may replay the whole game, but you already did once. Versus like San Andreas, where it's like if I just use the jetpack code from the beginning, then I may never play up to the point where I get it. And I may be already like tired of all the stuff before I actually like use it.
Yeah. I think I'm different than when I was a kid. And that's like a really general statement, but I mean in terms of how I deal with cheat codes now versus then. Like then it never took away from me. Like using the jetpack to get around. Lord knows I was tired of sinking money into cars that cops would blow up. You know, that's frustrating. If I can fly around, I'm going to fly around. I'm going to get around where I need to be faster anyways. But now when I play like a game with cheat codes or mods or anything, like it takes away.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to play that game less.
Yeah.
Like it. Like if I can make the game less trivial, then the game doesn't matter as much to me.
Yeah.
I feel like there's one game that kind of like blends cheat codes, like for me anyway, directly into the game. Crackdown 1 felt like at the end of the game, like you were cheating. It's just you could like you go from being able to like jump 8 feet into the air. You were a super soldier, right? So you could run kind of fast and jump into the air semi-high and climb whole buildings and shit like that. But at the end of the game, you could just jump from the street level all the way to the top of an 8-story building. You could run faster than most people were driving around on the street.
Heck
And you had infinite ammo, and all that ammo was making stuff explode. So like the power creep in that game made it feel like you were going from a regular game to a game like rife with cheat codes essentially.
Now, isn't that good though that you went through and you had to kind of get it?
Yeah, it felt so good.
Yeah, see, that's awesome.
But that's different than cheat codes, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess the point
it's
is
just a
though,
game.
like you get the same benefits of a cheat code without actually having the cheat codes, right? So like I think that's kind
Yeah.
of like with me in San Andreas, right, or Vice City. It's like I feel like I don't need cheat codes because I've done it and I have it all. And the same thing in Crackdown. It's like why do I need to put in all these cheats if I've played the game and gained it all? So
yeah.
I like that. I like when the game makes you feel super mega powerful by the end.
So I want to bring up the biggest cheat code in modern gaming history: the hunting horn in Monster Hunter Rise.
I keep hearing about how
'Cause Jesus
overpowered it
Christ.
is.
Dude,
Don't feel it.
I hear it. I get it. I'm playing it, and that thing hits so hard.
You know what hits hard? The freaking dual blades. You're literally Papa Levi all day.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Rest in peace, Attack on Titan.
So,
Anyway,
let's go now to the biggest, the baddest. We all know him as Mod. All right. Now, Skyrim is the
I
biggest.
think you
mod.
said that wrong. I think you meant to say free Skyrim DLC.
Free
Right.
Skyrim DLC.
Or
Now,
turn Skyrim into a porn game.
there it is.
Or turn Skyrim into a Thomas the Tank Engine
Thomas the
simulator.
Thomas the Tank Engine Simulator. So, Skyrim is probably the biggest inspiration for the song because I want to know, do you guys like modding? And not just Skyrim, but like any game.
I'll say that I only have 500 hours in Skyrim because of mods. It's
Okay.
like the story mods where they add like whole new areas and whole new quest chains and stuff like that are great, but also just messing around and spawning a shitload of bears into the area to destroy all of Whiterun. Just that kind of stuff. I mean, it's the only reason. Other than that, I would only have 20 hours in that game because I would have played the story and ran around with one of my characters, and that would have been the end of it.
Okay. I can dig it. Anyone else?
I've only beaten the story all the way through, like the main story once.
Yeah.
And like I did the Dawn Guard DLC, and then I didn't feel like going back for the Dragonborn DLC. But modding the game is just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But every time I like start playing, my first instinct is to turn on Nexus mods and start downloading mods.
Yeah.
Like I never even like think twice about it. And that's like there are some games where like I've played the whole game through maybe like 6 or 7 times and I'll like mod it because I'm bored.
Mhm.
Right? Like I've done that with Dragon Age Inquisition and just modded the hell out of that game. Powered through it because I like the story. Like I don't like after you play through it a bunch of times, like just getting through the story is always nice.
So like, why? So, I'm trying to think of a way to phrase. The enhancements that the mods give, right? Do you wish those were just implemented in the game?
No, because they charge me money for it now.
For me, I personally would like it, or it should be in the game. But
Okay,
so for
so-
me, when it comes to modding, I don't mod shit except for 2 things. One, graphics. If I can make the game look better, say Skyrim, because Skyrim definitely has aged, especially like, yeah, we have the Legendary Edition, which has a higher resolution textures and stuff like that. Yeah, look, it looks decent base, but if I can make it look amazing, I will. 2, it's not really like a mod, more of a sort of like game text file change, which is changing some stuff when it comes to display settings. So with Fallout and Skyrim, I changed some display settings to allow me to get a maximum of 120 FPS. Yes, it could break the game's physics. I personally haven't experienced that with Skyrim. Thank God. I don't know how, but those are like the two quote unquote mods I do. Like just making the game look pretty and more feel better. I don't add anything when it comes to story, or just like extra content. It's mainly just a visual type of thing. But there is one exception. Serana.
The hood.
No, just
Big titty
Serana.
mods.
I want to
Breast
be
slider.
able to marry her and make her pretty. That's all I want. That's all I want for mods.
Because she's ugly.
No, she isn't ugly. I
You don't
want her
want
to be
this-
more
this-
pretty. I want to remove that stupid fucking hood from her
You want her to
character
be
model.
Pretty fuller.
I hate that so much. Why?
I can't believe there's a mod. For
I
that.
love it. That's why I have it.
Download the.
I love Serana so
I
much.
I think I like game mechanics mods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
there are some
I've-
interesting ones.
There are some pretty good ones. Like there are some that like really change or like improve how the game is. And those like instances, I think those are what I would love to be implemented into a main game to begin with. Right? But that's also after people have played the game for like Noon's 200 plus hours and they're like, "Huh. You know, punching doesn't feel good in this game, but I really wish it did.
Mhm.
Let's fix that." And like they'll add a whole new skill tree. You know, and that's not just for Skyrim, right? It could be for Fallout, Dragon Age Inquisition, Mass Effect, all these different games where like small improvements or even like new additions to skills makes the game feel a little bit more fresh. But those also come from people playing the game a crap ton, as well as the studio moving on to whatever they're doing next. So I just see, like, in my head, I feel like it'd be hard to implement those into a game that's already been released.
Well, let's talk about
Outside of, like, the mods.
a small indie game that you guys all know. Mojang's own Minecraft.
Yes.
So many mods have been implemented into the base game,
Mhm.
and mods are practically necessary.
Okay, I wouldn't
in
say
that game.
necessary,
Mhm.
but it does enhance the game up.
The difference between, like, Minecraft and Skyrim is Bethesda's moved on. They could care less about Skyrim.
Have
Yeah,
they?
they have. Yeah.
Have
'Cause
they?
they've sold it 17 times.
I mean, you can re-release
Which I don't
Alexa
mind.
Skyrim.
I love that Skyrim has been released so many times because what if I don't have my Switch that day? Oh, I can't.
What, you're
play.
going to
Oh,
bring
have
your
it on my
Amazon
phone.
Echo?
Xbox Game Pass.
You can
No, but
literally
okay.
use it on.
Can
on
we get the
Echo
next Skyrim?
because of the freaking built-in? It's like fuck. It's like Oregon Trail. It's just audio.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
But, like,
so weird.
with Skyrim, I feel like it feels a little bit of a different circumstance than Minecraft, because Minecraft is consistently it's still a supported game.
Yeah.
By Mojang, the studio Mojang. By the way, are they gonna do more, or are they done? Are they done yet?
Yeah, didn't they just release like a super update like a few months ago?
For Minecraft?
Yeah, like a new game,
Yeah.
Minecraft Dungeons.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dungeon.
I mean,
That's
they're
about like a
doing-
year old or something.
Didn't they do a major
Yeah, they're
update?
doing the
But-
shoot-offs.
When was the Netherworld update?
That was about a year ago. Everything has been like about a year ago. They just released the cave update,
Yeah,
which made
but-
caves like
Okay.
huge and expensive.
I know they started like, or they still keep
yeah,
up with
but
it.
that's different than with Skyrim. Bethesda's like, all right, another port, hand it off to that team. Another port, hand it off to that team. Oh, people like mods? What if we charge for these? You know? And let's
And
put
then
that
we
in
can-
Fallout 4.
We can just let the players expand on our
Well-
game instead of us do it.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
why, like, I think it'd be hard for a game like Skyrim to implement, like, the best mods, right?
They're gonna fuck up the next Elder Scrolls game.
Oh, 100%. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not buying the next Elder Scrolls.
Why?
Dude, I'm waiting for it. It's gonna be
I've
beautiful.
decided that I don't like this.
I don't like Bethesda, but I do love Elder Scrolls.
I've also decided that I'm gonna play that other one by
I know it's. Yeah.
Obsidian. Avowed.
Yes.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
They've
I've never heard
decided
of
that I
Catch up with the rest of the class.
Google.
that.
Avowed.
I know Outer Worlds
And-
from
No.
Obsidian.
Yeah. So isn't Obsidian a bunch of people who are like, Bethesda, you're whack, we're leaving, and then they start their own team. And they're like, we're doing Fallout.
Okay, so admittedly,
right.
some
And
of
then they
the
made Outer
Obsidian
Worlds.
team is actually part of the original Fallout team. So
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
why
that's-
Fallout New Vegas
So
is
they
the
were
best
like-
Fallout game.
that's what I'm saying. So like they were like, you guys need to do it right. So then they went over and they're like, we're gonna show you how to do it right, and they made Outer Worlds. And I feel like they're doing the same thing with Skyrim, and they're like, we're gonna show you how to do it right, and they're making Avowed. And you know what? I'm Team Obsidian. I don't care if they're both owned by
I
the same
actually-
person now. That
I
wasn't
like
their
I
fault.
played
playing
the first
Outer
few hours.
Worlds.
I played the first few hours of Outer Worlds. It was boring as hell to me.
Oh, it's
And
always
I
trash,
love
but the
Fallout
gameplay's pretty
and
good.
Skyrim. Yeah, like the gunfights and stuff are good, but like everything else about it was just boring to me. Maybe I should give it a second chance in like I don't know, like a few months.
Yeah.
As like a see if maybe I was just being like an ass about it, because I feel like first impressions can just be good or bad, depending on the person. I think I'm definitely one of those people because I played Skyrim, or I tried to play Skyrim so many different times until I just didn't know where to go. It's like, okay, it just throws you out of the world of Skyrim when you leave the cave within like the first 20 minutes of the game.
Welcome
And
to
it's like,
Elder Scrolls.
bam,
Yeah.
do what you want. I'm like, what?
Mhm.
I don't know what to do, so I just ran around
Yeah,
with
it's
a
a
bow
lot.
and arrow and just killed shit.
No,
So,
you
I
gotta get a
don't-
night run.
Yeah.
Years later, I played it, and then I finally figured out what exactly to do, and just
Mhm.
played Skyrim for 90 hours for like in like a week.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like running out of that cave as fast as possible because I don't like getting that random quest from that guy where it's like, go to the town. So like I speed run out of that dungeon as fast as I can and I take off running the opposite direction. I don't care about the story anymore.
You don't get your blessing from the statue before
Look, if you
go?
run straight off that hill, you'll land right on top of it.
Yeah.
You said the opposite direction.
You're right. You got me. I run the opposite direction. I go to the serpent statue, which is all the way to the left if you follow the river and up to the lake.
It's also not the
It
opposite
is the opposite direction.
Not if you leave the cave and turn around.
No! I said leave the cave and turn left.
You said
The opposite direction of the guy.
Oh.
Yeah, he leaves the door.
He does. He does start to walk to River Run. Isn't that what that's called?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, River Run. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah. So then you must turn around
No,
and run the
no,
other way, Nick.
No. No.
Turn and run. No blessings.
I
for
don't
you.
want it. I don't need it. I got mods
But,
on my side.
I'm a very vanilla player.
That's okay.
I'm very much in the realm with Nick, whereas like I guess if I did one, it would be like graphical enhancements. But I pretty much don't add any mods, even on Minecraft. I play that game a lot with
Can
no
I-
mods.
I didn't know that was like a thing. Like
Dude.
I've also never played Minecraft.
My
a
Minecraft
lot
mods
of
have just
Minecraft.
added so much to the game. Honestly, the
Yeah.
pack I use the most is called Hexit, which
Yeah.
it adds just like a bunch of
Mhm.
stuff. It adds a bunch of different weapons, armors. It adds battle towers that you could go up, and if you get to the top and kill the boss, you get like a bunch of loot.
Does it add an
Um,
enjoyable experience?
Hell yes. It's just so fun because in Minecraft vanilla, it's like, okay, chop down this tree, get wood, turn wood into an axe,
Hell yeah.
cut down more wood, build a house,
Design my dream
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
home.
and then after like maybe 5 hours,
Years.
then you'll have enough diamonds and stuff to go to the Nether.
Not even that long.
But that's just like a very slow process. While with the Hexit mod, it pretty much just opens up everything to you, and you could just, if you really want to just gun run it, you could easily just walk into a battle tower with nothing, open up a chest, grab maybe a stick, or if you're lucky, like a shovel or something, because they always have something in a chest. It may not be good, but it could be a weapon or whatever. You could be lucky, go to the top, bam, you already have a good sword, and you just go on. It definitely adds a lot more to the Minecraft experience.
I like Minecraft mods that add more to the crafting and harvesting. So I think it was Hexit. No, it was something else. It was like engineering.
Tekkit.
Yeah, Tekkit, where
Yeah.
you could like make giant.
You can make
quarry
giant
cutters.
machines, or
Yeah.
you can make giant machines. You can make stuff to just mine for you and stuff like that. It's crazy what you could do in that mod.
Yeah.
But there's just too much that it just overwhelms me.
I love it.
I think that mechanical mods sit in a different place than, say, like Thomas the Tank Engine mods, because it feels like
Some mods are just fun.
yeah, and that's cool, and I love fun mods, and that's great. But I like mechanical mods the most. I like feeling like I like seeing where the game could have been, and then people realizing that, you know, like with Skyrim, there's like it's a good game. Like it was the first Elder Scrolls that I played before I went back and I played Oblivion. Right, but I go back and I play Oblivion, and its skill system is so much better.
Yeah.
But
So much better. Good
and then you
God.
come to Skyrim and you see all these mods that people are doing to improve.
No hand to hand?
Yeah, like you see all these mods of people just trying to improve the game as best they can, and like it's cool to see that kind of love for a game that's been out for almost 10 years, 10 plus years, right?
Yeah.
There's still
So-
that YouTube channel that does weekly mod showcases.
MXM mods,
Yeah. They're still going.
It just,
they're pretty funny.
I guess for me, I don't like doing that. Again, I've said this before. Is at that point, I can just do whatever I want. So it almost immediately, like once, if I'm going to start modding, I'm pretty much done with the game. Because if I'm going to mod it, I'm just going to do whatever I want. So there's not even a point
So I have a
to
question.
doing
Does
the mod.
that include, like, say, graphical mods and mechanical mods? Like, the things that would...
I would say with mechanical mods, yes. I would say with graphical mods, no.
So, like, I understand where you're coming from with that, but, like, I still don't understand why you would stay away from mechanical mods. You know? Because I still...
Because if I'm going to add, like, mechanics to do something, then I might as well just give myself the ability to do it. And if I'm just going to give myself the ability to do it, then there's no point, because I could just
Well,
do it.
But
You know what I mean?
like mechanical mods in the way that they change the way you can play the game, even outside of console commands and stuff like that. There are mods for Skyrim that completely change the way sword fighting works. Like you have to download
Yeah.
a whole different boning mod. It's not that kind of mod.
John Boehner. Yeah.
But it like changes the way that you have to block. There are some mods out there that make the combat harder, where blocking now drains more of your
Yeah.
stamina, and if you run out of stamina, you get stunned. So
Yeah. Very, very Oblivion.
yeah, but, like, stuff like that.
Um,
Why would you...
To me,
Why would you say no?
because then I'm not playing Skyrim anymore, right? I'm creating a different, not really a different game, but it's not Skyrim experience. I'll go find a game with that.
But if Skyrim
Right,
is the game
so-
that fills all the spots that you're looking for except for that one, and you have to mod to do it, you're just gonna stay away from it.
I'll go play
Do you
another
mean-
game.
like Dark Souls, we got there.
So like let's say you want Skyrim but with For Honor fighting.
That'd be kind of tight.
Yeah,
then
that would be.
yeah, right? Like that'd be sick. But if I have to mod to do it, then that means Skyrim. That means that there's like, it's good if you can get that. Don't get me wrong. It's just for me, I'm like, well, then I'm changing the game. I should go try For Honor and see what that game has
Or-
to offer.
Deliverance.
Yeah. No, you're thinking right. It's Deliverance.
Yeah.
Like I get where you're coming from,
No,
but let's
I don't
say
even know what that is.
it's when did Skyrim come out? 2014.
Skyrim came out 2011.
Yeah.
2011. What the hell?
November 11th, 2011.
Okay, so say it's 20.
We've
Let's
gone through
say
this.
it's 2011, and you can mod Skyrim, and there like in
Okay.
2011 there is legitimately no other game like Skyrim, right?
There's
There's
Oblivion.
See, no, but that's different.
That's the previous game.
Yeah, that's like
Correct.
there's
They are
Fallout.
different games.
yeah, but Fallout isn't. It's not the point. No, but like
it's not like
let's
Middle
say
Earth.
you want that For Honor combat, like a more like intricate combat system, and you can mod to get that in 2011. I think you would have done it, because back then that's different than now.
I
That
don't
also
think so.
might have been a different Vincent. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Yeah.
as I've grown, my modding has changed from, Thomas the Tank Engine Dragons to purely utilitarian mods.
Yeah, more expansive
sliders.
mods. Right?
Booby sliders.
I do agree. I think like I guess for me, I'm pretty vanilla. If I had to draw a line, it would be past that point of mechanics and like stuff like that. Because once I start like giving myself crazy powers and start like summoning stuff, that's basically just for like amusing myself. And at that point, I don't want to like play. Not that there's anything wrong with amusing yourself, obviously,
only-
but like that game is clearly
Like there's
done
only so
for
much
me.
time you can
So
spend
it's
in the
like-
sandbox with new toys before it's still
Yeah.
the same sandbox.
And then I won't want to play the original game anymore. That's my problem too, is because like, and maybe I would never have, right? But I don't want to because now I've diluted that game for myself. Once I mod it and I've made myself capable of anything, why would I want to like why would I want to go back to just using a broadsword with like a whack attack system? Like, so that's why for me, if I like decide like it's time to start modding, no, it's time to find a new game because you're done.
I feel
So-
that. Recently I wanted to reinstall Skyrim, but I was like, I'm going to have to download all of these mods and SKSE and all that kind of stuff, and I didn't want to go through the hassle.
See, that's just too much work.
So it's like
Just be simple. Just install the
Yeah.
basic ass mods you need for Skyrim. Honestly,
but that's why that's why I kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Is like once you get to end game, there should be like this superpower
Yeah.
feeling, because like Skyrim does not have.
it does
feels
not
like the
want it.
game just keeps going. Like
Yeah, and that's one of like my biggest issues, because in Oblivion and Morrowind, once you beat all the guilds, you get access to building all the guild stuff. So like it's expensive, but like in Oblivion, once you beat the Mages Guild, you can create spells. Like, and you could make like boulder dropping, fireball wheezing like spells like that just destroy towns. And like in Skyrim, you don't get anything.
You kind of have
Like-
to cheat to get that kind of stuff.
pretty much.
Yeah, and that's a problem for me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. To me, when that's like when we have a great community that's doing it themselves, that means the developers didn't do a good job, right?
Okay,
In
so I
some
don't-
degree, because Skyrim is like super awesome. I've spent so much time playing that game. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying like there's things that it's lacking. So what I want them to do is move on and create the better game.
See, I get what
Like-
you're coming from, and I agree. Like, it's cool to like I want them to move on and make Elder Scrolls 6 like better than Oblivion and better than Morrowind, right?
Nothing's better than
I get you.
Morrowind.
But like the mod community making the game better isn't necessarily indicative of the game being bad or the game not being as good as it could have been. right? I just think that these things are cool things that people have added in that do make the game better, but not necessarily things that the developers missed to make the game better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that point. I think, yeah. There's, like, things like you said, like, there might be, like, some gameplay differences that someone wanted to implement. That doesn't mean the developers didn't want that. It's just not on their scope of what they were thinking for this game.
Yeah.
So I totally understand that. And I agree with it.
I get that. There are some mods where I'm like, and I agree. Like, it feels like a hassle to mod in stuff all the time. Whenever like I go to install Skyrim, I never feel like just installing the base game anymore.
Yeah. And again, it's just the fact that, like, and again, this is just for me personally, and this is why I stay vanilla, is because once I do that, I can't play the game anymore.
Or you can't
like,
play the game as it is.
Yeah, the base game.
Yeah. And then, like, it's done. And I don't want to, like, do that. I just want to, like, if there's something I want in a game, I find it better to, like, expand my horizons and go try a new game with new mechanics, right?
Nah,
Like,
I hear you.
I'd also like to say
so
I'm kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum of this, because the next time I do install Skyrim, it'll be because I'm excited to be able to mod it and make it any game. Again, it's purely going to be utilitarian, but I'll be able to make it any game that I want to make it because of those mods.
So I want to bring up something. I think that it's interesting to me that Skyrim is like this pinnacle of mod compatibility.
yeah. Minecraft
Yeah,
as well.
not
too.
to ignore
I
it.
don't
Like,
think we talked a lot about Minecraft.
like I haven't played Minecraft,
but
so I don't
just
know.
didn't play as much
But
Minecraft.
like with Skyrim,
Yeah.
there's so much there. There's an incredible amount there in the base game and like in its openness that allows you to do things like mod entire new storylines. Though my big problem with Skyrim is that nothing you do matters, even though it matters. Because for the love of God, I just
Yeah.
murdered the Emperor. Would someone react to me on the street?
You can't murder the Emperor.
Yeah, he's an important quest character.
He'll just stay crouched
You
on
have
one
to
knee
you have to mod the game.
until he's ready to stand
No.
Get
back
that
up.
Kill him.
mod to kill him.
No, you kill him in the
In Oblivion.
in the Brotherhood storyline
Oh,
for Skyrim.
I don't remember that.
The Dark Brotherhood storyline.
Me neither. I don't remember
I
killing
didn't
any
finish
emperors.
the Dark
Yeah.
Brotherhood. I got like stupid far.
I did.
I don't think
You
I
kill
beat
the
it, though, 'cause
Emperor
it just-
in his boat because he's visiting Skyrim, and then you go back and I don't know if you care about spoilers.
Oh wait, the
Let me
giant
just
boat
say,
thing.
the Dark Brotherhood in
Yeah,
this
that's the
game
Emperor.
was whack.
Oh, then yeah, I remember doing that.
Yeah, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that
I wanna.
tied to it, but like it doesn't really matter. Like nothing you do in Skyrim matters, and it like nothing ever change. Like your interactions with characters they don't change, and that bugs the crap out of me.
Dude, the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim is whack.
It's not.
It's the weakest
Yeah.
Dark Brotherhood. The weakest storyline I've ever seen in my life.
So is the Thieves Guild for that matter.
But Dark Lady.
Dude, that whole game's guild is whack.
The but mods.
The coolest thing about that game is ragdoll knife stabbing. Alright? Like, that's the best part of that game.
Shouting people off things.
Freaking literally. But yeah, I don't know. Those are just some of my thoughts on mods and
I
stuff.
do want to say before we move on from Bethesda, the first thing that I saw when I Googled Avowed was an Escapist article. Obsidian is becoming Bethesda because Bethesda stopped being Bethesda.
Literally, dude. I'm telling you. They're doing it right. Just look at the trailer. Yeah, I know it's just a cinematic.
It's also set in
But
the
it
Pillars of
looks cool.
Eternity world.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you were into Pillars of Eternity, you'll dig the story that you're gonna get from Obsidian.
You will 100%
Did you guys see the
like Avowed. No
You guys
flaws.
see
The mods.
The Dark Alliance 2 trailer
Mods.
or Dark Alliance 3 trailer.
The Dark Alliance 2. You mean back in 1990?
No, I'm talking about the new one.
I know, I'm just kidding.
No, I haven't seen the trailer.
No.
It is pretty cool, an entirely different game, but I feel as if people are thinking horde shooters are the way to go again.
First person shoot.
Or like
What?
third
Dark
person
Alliance.
horde action games. It seems like we're going backwards with
Dude, the
genre
new
design.
the new Fat Shark game, the Warhammer 40K
Yeah.
horde shooter game. Oh my god, I can't wait for that game.
Dude, it looks so good though. That's different. It looks good.
It's not
Or
different. it's
Back
the
for
exact same
Blood.
thing. Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh
I
my
know,
God.
Vincent is all about that.
Dark Tide.
I'm excited
Dark
for Back
Tide's
for
what it's
Blood.
called.
Or, yeah, but
Freaking, wait, back to the point. Alright? You modern cheaters. So, is there, if there is any, a point where you draw the line? Like, I clearly have a line, and it's at vanilla. Nick has a line-ish, and it's kind of at a little past graphical, right? Do you guys have lines, Mr. Noons and Big Nick?
I have no lines. I don't like. I'll install mods into Skyrim and Minecraft until they break, and I have to uninstall the game and reinstall every other mod that I had.
Nice.
I stop at mechanical mods. I don't really care about the graphics because, like, I know what I'm getting into. I don't need to make the game prettier.
Dang.
But that's me.
Fuck with your boy with that RTX mod. I bought the
Dog.
card for a reason.
Got him.
No, I get you. I just got
Tell
it
'em.
because it was the newest card, and I was like, I ain't
Tell
gonna get any
him,
of that
Nick.
trash ass AMD ass graphics card,
RTX,
right?
he
But,
said.
like, when it comes to like Skyrim specifically, because this is the only game that I've modded every time, I usually look for the best mechanical mods.
So you've never played the base
No,
game?
I have.
Once.
I played it for the Xbox 360
Okay.
back in
I'll say
2013.
this right now. The Xbox version was better than the PS3 version. The PS3 version, oh, like the fucking hard drive on that thing is so slow.
So perfect in
Yeah.
every way.
It
Agreed.
absolutely sucked. Like at least like the Xbox
Beautiful.
360 hard drive and like memory cards were flash based memory, so
Yeah.
loading speeds were faster.
Yeah.
What was you guys' little like psychological cheat to make the screens go by faster? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Like
yeah.
holding down the stick makes it go faster.
I would
Spin.
I was gonna say I rotate the thing slower.
Okay, if we're talking about like Dragon Ball Z, spinning them
Well-
sticks faster.
Well, yeah, because you could make the freaking
Yeah, but that was over in like
Yeah.
8 seconds.
Yeah, it was
Skyrim
over in
like
8
a
seconds
bathroom
because I was
break.
spinning
Skyrim. You
super
could literally
fast.
make yourself a sandwich and come back just in time for it to reopen.
Yeah. Skyrim, you could literally go cook a Thanksgiving dinner for the family, eat it, go to Easter
Oh.
Sunday, and then come back next year for your game to
Yeah.
load.
Family
Skyrim
out of
had
the dungeon.
Connect compatibility.
Gross. Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
could yell the shouts at the
You
Xbox.
could yell the shouts through your Xbox Connect.
I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that.
That was fantastic era of gaming.
It was.
I didn't
Now,
have
Vincent-
a Kinect, so I didn't know
But
that.
yeah.
Now, Vincent, I have a question.
Yeah. Lay it on me.
Do you want them to add cheats to the next Grand Theft Auto and or Elder Scrolls?
Yeah. I don't mind. Again, for me it's just like if you can't like I don't know. I feel like for me I won't be using that stuff until like I beat it at the very least. And then once I start using the cheat codes and stuff, it'll die for me really quickly. Like replayability just depletes like crazy fast once I started doing that. So, I don't care if they do it. I like to watch people do it, and like for a short time, I'll do it. But then, once I turn the game off and I'm like done, I probably will never turn it on again.
Also, what are
It is
you
kinda
talking
dumb.
about? The next GTA? GTA 5 is eternal now.
You're crazy.
No.
That game needs to go away.
No,
I'm
it's
done.
the
GTA
last
Everybody
one.
else
is never gonna come out.
No,
It's not
we're all
happening.
done. We're all done with GTA. No,
me
GTA
say,
is
though,
dead. We're moving
GTA
on.
5 has all these super cool workshops that I've never played. So like, okay, I played like 10 minutes of GTA 5, but I always watch the videos of people doing like this super cool race courses, and that's all I want to do in that
Vince,
game.
we can do that. I used to do it all the time, but no one else.
My
no one,
computer can't handle
What
it.
do you mean?
Vincent, you just got a new computer.
It couldn't like maybe a year ago, but now it can.
It can't. I don't have the 3090.
Dude, I built you that beast of a computer. It could play it.
Super doesn't mean anything to me.
I want another Max Payne
Okay.
game.
I need two 3090s in here.
You can't,
But
you
it-
can't SLI them. They're not.
Yeah, no, you can't SLI. SLI is.
No, I
gone.
just want two
okay.
in there. One has to root the other one.
Nudes. How else is he gonna show the world he has a Magnum dong?
Oh yeah.
So, I don't mind Chico's being in the next one. Again, it's just not for me. But I get, like, other people just like to do stuff and have fun and stuff. But, like, I like to almost see, like, what the, like, developers tried to do. So, like, when I do it myself, I'm like, eh.
I would love to see.
I
I
like-
would love to see the developers come back and like add mods that they made.
See, and that's the crazy part to me because, like, I say something like, I'm not a big fan of, like, mods and stuff. But then if the developers do it and they just put it in officially,
And they call it
Like-
DLC.
Yeah, literally, right? Like so
Armored
it's like,
horses.
Let's say there was a mod for armored horses. I'm like, I'm not gonna mod my game to put in armored horses, but if like the new update has armored horses, I'm like, oh yeah, it's about time.
I've been waiting for this
It's about time
all
they
week.
had some- been waiting for armored horses since
Dude,
mods
what? Just
came
go
out.
get the. Just go
Like-
get the fucking. What is that called? The Nightborn horse, the unkillable horse.
It's just an
Just go get that
example.
one.
But if they were like, if we were like, let's add Thomas the Tank Engine mods, I would be like, oh no.
Official
But,
feature in the game.
Yeah, just get Shadowmere. That's all you need.
but then the next DLC is like the train station, like lands in Morrowind. You better believe Thomas is coming to town. Like I
You're
love
crazy,
it. I love
We
it.
we have
So, I don't know.
partnered
I
with
guess for
Thomas the
me-
Tank Engine to bring you this new DLC to
Yo,
Oblivion.
can we talk about branding in video games sometime? Because
Dude, the Dole
It-
brand and
it's
Monkey
getting
Yeah,
Ball.
weird.
we can next week.
next week on the S Plus
the S
podcast,
Plus podcast.
we don't ever stick to what we say when we say next week on the S Plus podcast.
Rarely do we stick to one.
Well, next week we'll be talking about branding. I'm Nick.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, I'm also Nick.
Nudes.
And I'm also Vincent. This is the.
Hey, don't forget about Noons.
We'll see you
Let-
guys.
Hey,
I said
hey.
it. No, I
You
said
said
it.
it.
Did you say it?
I said
You
it.
said it.
Oh, you said it. Oh,
That's fine.
follow us on
See you
Twitter.
later. folks. Twitter.